Hare Krishna. Welcome. Thank you all for coming to harekrishnavalley.com.au. Good to see you all. So this is our open day, which we have once a month. So once a month we invite the public in to see what we do. Because people often wonder what it is we do here. And people drive past all the time, there's a big sign out the front, and then people want to know what goes on in that place. So once a month we have an open day where anyone's allowed to come and you can participate in our way of life, experience our culture, our philosophy. Actually, we're open most days of the week, most days of the year, but we just have a special day just so people can come and they can learn. Because people always say they have questions about the way we believe. So what I thought we'd do today is I'll speak a little bit about the history of the tradition, our culture. Does that sound okay to everyone? A little bit about the history, about the tradition. So I'll go back a long way. In the modern world, the education system that we have, it is pretty much described with relative accuracy for about 2,000 years. If you go back 2,000 years in history, there's some accuracy in what's taken place. But once you get to 2,000 years, around about when Christ was here, even when Christ was here, there's some vagueness about what was taking place. But if you go back 3,000 years, it becomes more vague. Right? It's like looking at the horizon. When you look at the horizon, because the earth is curved, you look to a certain degree and then you kind of lose what's over the edge. So in history, it's like that also. We go back about 3,000 years, and then after that it becomes very vague, right? Because we can't actually see what's taking place. So you go back 4,000 years, then 5,000, 8,000 years, and everyone speculates. What was the world actually like? So in our tradition, we don't see things the way the modern world sees things and the modern educational system sees things. At this point in time, the main theory of existence is what? How did we all come to be? What's the main theory?
Evolution.
Yeah, we call it evolution, Darwin's theory. Has anyone heard of this theory? Evolution? Yeah. Hands up if you believe in this theory. Evolution. We've got one person. Okay. That's good. This is quite an enlightened audience. That means you've already worked a lot out. Because we don't believe in this theory. And the person who wrote the theory 150 years ago, whose name was Charles Darwin, he actually writes in The Origin of the Species, his original work, the theory as it stands is not yet proven. So he never said it was a fact. But when I went to school, they taught us that everything came from evolution. Now that my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great grandfather was a monkey. That's what we were taught. You know, if you go back, you came from an ape. Where is the proof? It's a theory. Okay, it's a theory. But one thing which makes me question the theory is the state of the world. How would we describe the modern world that we live in now? How would you describe it? This one, 2026, Earth, the civilization, how would you describe it? One word.
Chaotic.
Chaotic, that's very positive. Any other words? How would you describe, like, modern civilization? Yeah.
There isn't a word that I could say out loud here.
Yeah, okay. So that's also not so positive.
Chaos.
Okay. Chaos, again.
Materialistic.
Materialistic, very good. So it's materialistic, it's chaotic, and it's words that we can't use. That's how we would describe modern civilization. So if you connect that to their theory of evolution, that we all came into being through this process of evolution, and it's ended in chaos, to me that doesn't sound like a very satisfying theory. In our tradition, we are creationists. We believe in creation. We believe in a supreme being. Hands up if you believe in a supreme being. Or if it's not a being, but something higher than us. Almost everyone. Okay. So in our tradition, we believe in a supreme being, a supreme person, as most of the ancient traditions do. They believe there's a supreme entity. We also believe that. However, our understanding of that supreme entity is maybe a little different to the modern Judeo-Christian Western popular theory. Just like last year, I went to Italy, and we went into the Sistine Chapel. And you look up on the roof, and Michelangelo, he has depicted God. How did he paint God? What does he look like? You know the famous picture where he's reaching out and there.
An old man.
An old man, right? White hair, white robes, very powerful, very stately, very wise. But that's not the way we see God. We see God as a young cowherd boy. You see in the pictures, the bluish cowherd boy? We call him Krishna. Right? We see God as young because the supreme entity or the supreme being does not have to age if he does not want to. Why would you be an old man if you can be a young man? Hands up if you prefer to be old to young. Okay, everyone wants to be young, right? So, and people spend so much money on trying to stay young. But in this world you can't do it because this body is conducted by laws which are beyond our power to control. Age is something that you cannot control, right? We're all getting older as we speak, right? Cells are dying, reproducing, like everything's changing. You can't control that. No one's controlled it since the beginning of time. So why would God keep himself old if he can stay young? Obviously he would stay young. So that's how we see. We see Krishna as a youngish person, a youthful person. Right? So we are creationists. We don't believe that everything evolved from evolution, but everything was created. But it's not a simplistic type of creation. Like, you know, in the Bible we find on day 1, this was created, then day 2, and then day 6. And then day 7, God was tired and he had a rest. That's not our understanding, right? Because why does he need to rest? Why does something make him tired? He has 6 days of work. For a start, he doesn't work. And secondly, when he creates, it's instantaneous. It doesn't take him 6 days to do anything. He just says, okay, earth, there it is. He says, now what's next? Jupiter, there's Jupiter, Saturn, the sun, everything. Instantaneous, because he is all-powerful by definition. So in our tradition, our history goes back to the beginning of creation, but in our teachings, it actually goes back millions of years. We have history which goes back, stories of the earth, civilization, which goes back millions of years. Hands up if you believe it may be possible that the earth was civilized millions of years ago. I'm not saying you believe it, may be possible. Okay, many of you, yeah. And actually there's more and more proof coming out that there has been civilization here for a long, long time. So what we're being taught in the modern educational system is not necessarily correct, right? We have this modern educational system that we evolved from monkeys and all of these types of stories we're taught. We question those things, we're creationists. So the history of our tradition comes right back from millions of years ago. And it is said that occasionally Krishna himself, God himself, comes to earth, occasionally. And the last time that he came in his original form, in that bluish form we see, was 5,000 years ago, in a place in India called Vrindavan. Has anyone been to Vrindavan? One lady, 2, yeah, okay, 3. Oh, you've been to Vrindavan? Okay, so this is Krishna's home. He actually, God himself came here. We don't just believe that he sent his son, but he himself comes sometimes, right? And he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, which is the ancient teaching from India, the famous book from India. He spoke this to enlighten us. So he himself actually comes to earth sometimes. So our history in the Hare Krishna movement, it goes back at least, you could say, 5,000 years. At least 5,000 years. That's when it's recorded. And then it was passed down through parampara. What is parampara? Tradition or disciplic succession, right? It comes down, you see on our altar, you have the gurus, the different pictures of the gurus. So the guru teaches it to disciple. Guru to shishya, guru to shishya, guru to disciple, guru to disciple. Comes down over thousands of years. So our tradition comes down for 5,000 years since the Bhagavad Gita itself was spoken. Now 500 years ago, in West Bengal, in India, it is said that Krishna actually came again. God himself came again. And you see in the center, the picture in the center, you see that picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is said Krishna, when he came 5,000 years ago, he comes in his original bluish form. Some people ask, why is God bluish? What is the answer?
Why not?
Cool.
Why not? Cool. Yeah, they're both very good answers. Why is God bluish? Because that's cool. Okay, that's a good answer. Why is God bluish? Why not? That's also another good answer. Why else?
He was actually Shamran, basically.
I know.
He was not really blue, but...
I know, but these people are just coming for the first time. Don't get too technical. They're already sitting here thinking, my God, like what we're hearing now is like revolutionary. So don't go too technical. Why is he blue?
Because he came in his own form, and that is the most attractive form possible.
Good answer, good answer. But it's still, we go a touch further. Why is he bluish? Why is he bluish? What color is the sky?
Blue.
Blue. When everything is blue, when the sky is blue, how do you feel? Happy. Yeah, we'll feel happy. You know, the sky, that color makes you feel happy. So Krishna himself, God, because he is the source of bliss or happiness, he is that color. It's like a bluish color, the most beautiful color. So he is that color. However, when he came here 500 years ago, now 500 years ago, it is said that Krishna himself came again, but when he came in a golden form. More human-like, more like us, more like a fair complexion form. He came in this color, and 500 years ago is not very long ago. History is quite accurate 500 years ago. He actually appeared during the Renaissance. So he was on the earth at the same time as people like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, these personalities. He was actually here, which means he would have been written about. Not just in our books, not just in the sacred texts, but historically. So if you look it up, if you Google it, you will see there is a saint called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is recorded as historically as being a saint. For us, we believe a step further that he was God himself. And he was the inaugurator of the Hare Krishna movement in the modern form. Because what you see now in this Hare Krishna movement, where we dress a particular way and we chant sacred mantras and we dance, we do kirtan like we did before. What we did before was called kirtan. Kirtan for us is called Sanatan Dharma, or eternal religion, right? When people dance and chant like that, that is the closest way or the most efficient way to connect to God himself. That's why I became a Hare Krishna. When I was 19, I grew up in Melbourne, right? And when I was 19 years old, I joined the ashram and became a monk. You seen the Hare Krishna, the Brahmacharis? You know, they wear saffron, like the orange colour. You know, the Hare Krishnas like that. So I was a monk for 8 years before I got married. So the reason I joined is because I was very interested in religion. When I was a kid, I used to pray. Right? No one ever taught me. Right? When I was 5 years old, I made my parents buy me a Bible, a children's Bible, and my mother used to read it to me before I went to sleep. Right? I just always had this thing I wanted to know about God. And my mother was an atheist. She didn't even believe in God. But she used to read the book to me because I said, please read this book to me. So she'd read. And when I was 8 years old, I used to get up while my parents were asleep on Sunday morning, and I used to go to Sunday school by myself, not by myself, but with my neighbours. They were into it, so I went and then I went. But when I got to about the age of 17, I had questions which could not be answered. I asked my priest, I said, what about reincarnation? He said, oh, well, that's not in the Bible. And I said, well, something is wrong here, because for me it's very obvious that people reincarnate. We don't just have one life. Hands up if you believe in reincarnation. Oh, so most of you, yeah. So I was like that too. So I said to my priest, and he said, oh no, that's not in the Bible. And I said, well, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense to me. And then I said, what about hell? You know, what this place you tell us about hell, you know, where God sends you forever if you're a bad person. Hands up if sometimes your kids are naughty. Never. Okay, nice. Never. Okay, so your kids are different, but most kids are naughty, right?
Yeah.
So God's our parent. So would you send your kid to his room forever? Oh, you broke the television, go to your room forever. No, who would do that? No parent would do that. Why would God send us to hell forever? Oh, you don't love Jesus? Go to hell forever. That doesn't even make sense. So when I began to question these things to my priest, he couldn't answer the questions. So then I said, okay, I'll look at other places. So I went to the East, right? I started to read Buddhism and Hinduism and all these different Eastern teachings. And it's very interesting because they say, because if you read the Bible, between the age of 12 and 30, what does it say about Jesus? Nothing. So what was he doing for 18 years?
In Kashmir he was learning
What's that?
Sanatan Dharma. In Kashmir he was learning Sanatan Dharma.
Yeah, well, even deeper. Even deeper. Kashmir is north of India,
Yeah.
but even deeper. There's evidence that he may have even went to Puri,
Yeah.
which is quite far. So, very good chance Jesus went to India for 18 years. Right? And he learned all the deep spiritual teachings. And then he came back and then he tried to teach them. And how did it go when he tried to teach them? Not very well. What did they end up doing to him?
Punished.
Yeah,
Crucified.
not very nice. You know, all he was doing was trying to enlighten people. And then they said, no, you're a problem in society. You know, that's how they treated him. Right? So when I heard all of these things, you know, I couldn't have my questions out. Then I went to the Eastern teachings to try to understand more deeply. And then when I met the Hare Krishna people, they were dancing like we just did then. How does it make you feel when we're all dancing and chanting together? How did you feel? Good. Happy. Yeah. So I thought, okay, this is my tribe. Right? These people want to get to God, but they want to do it in a very natural way. It should be celebratory. Right? It should feel like a celebration. It should feel like we're happy while we're practicing this. Right? If you're not happy while you're practicing your spiritual faith or your religion, something is wrong. You should feel joyous. Right? Just like someone arrived, one of my friends arrived before he came here, he's in the room now. I said, how are you doing? He said, oh, you know, I'm not feeling completely happy. And I said, maybe because you're not connected enough to Krishna. Because when you're connected enough to God, to Krishna, you will feel that sense of happiness within yourself. You'll feel like a fullness or a completeness. It is called Purna. You know, when the moon is full, when the moon is full, what do we call it in India? Purnima. What does that mean?
Full moon.
Complete. Full. Right? Purnima. Yeah. So your heart should feel like the full moon. You should feel complete. Nothing lacking. If something's lacking, it means you're not connected enough. That's all it means. So if you're feeling you're lacking, when you go home, if you feel like there's some lacking, just put your hands in the air like this and dance around your kitchen table and chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Right? And if it doesn't work, we'll give your money back. Right? But it will work. It works for me. So you come here on any weekday, you'll see me out there in the fields running around just going, Hare Krishna. Not really. I don't really do that. I only do it when there's other people here. But sometimes I do. If I'm feeling challenged by life, because sometimes life is challenging, isn't it? Sometimes. So then you chant these names of Krishna, the names of God, and you will feel connected. Now, that is called Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means to unite, to connect. So Bhakti Yoga means when you chant like that, you'll feel connected. So 500 years ago, it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, came to this earth, right, to teach these teachings. And he came to spread this Hare Krishna movement. And then for the last 5 centuries, it was passed down through the different spiritual teachers. And then in 1965, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, whose picture is there on the seat of honor, the Vyasa son, he came to America at the age of 69. Is anyone here 69 or above in the room?
Daddy, you are? Daddy?
Daddy is?
71.
Yeah, he is.
Daddy is? Yeah.
99.
69 or above? Yeah, so can you imagine when you are this age, you get on a boat from India, from Calcutta, and you go across to Boston and then land in New York. Takes him about 6 weeks to go across on a boat. He got a complimentary room on a steamship, a cargo ship. So they took him across on the boat, 69-year-old Swami. He had 2 heart attacks on the way. 2 heart attacks on the way across for 6 weeks because he was seasick. He'd never been on the sea before. And he actually wrote in his diary, he said, if I had a 3rd heart attack, I would not have lived. But he actually said that during the night, while he was laying there, he said Krishna sat on the side of his bed and massaged his chest the entire night. God came for his devotee and massaged him. Then he arrives in America at the age of 69. And then within 12 years, right, from the 1965 to 1977 when he left this world at the age of 81, he spread the Hare Krishna movement around the world. Right? And he initiated 10,000 followers, opened 100 temples, and millions of his books, millions, were distributed all around the world. And Hare Krishna became like a household name. He met the Beatles, you know, George Harrison. He wrote that, what's that song that he sang? My Sweet Lord. My Sweet Lord. Hare Krishna, my sweet Lord. Hare Krishna, I really want to know you. You know that song? That's because he met George Harrison. And George said to him, should I shave my head and follow you? He said, no. He said, you just keep making music, but sing about Krishna. And that song became #1 many places in the world. Everyone knows that song. Right? He spread these teachings. So he brought these teachings to this world, and now around the world we have 1,300 temples all around the world now. And in Mayapur, our world headquarters, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, we're building the biggest temple in the world as we speak. Has anyone been to the Vatican in Rome? Have you seen pictures of it? Like, it's big. Right, it's big. Our temple's even bigger than that. Right? It's this beautiful, beautiful temple. It'll be open next year. We've been building it for about 15 years now. So it will open there. And then the whole world will come to learn about these teachings. That's why we have these places like this, like Hare Krishna Valley. I moved here 18 years ago. We brought this farm in 1987. And one of our guests here today, she told me the last time she came here was 25 years ago. So thank you for coming back. After 25, yeah, give her a round of applause for coming back. You should come at least once every 25 years. But you can come more than that, but you know. But you should come. So then, I moved here 18 years ago. When we bought this property, we actually built this building we're in now. This was a school. We had a Hare Krishna primary school. And the kids came here to school, and we had the 2 ashrams there where they would stay. And then our school closed in the mid-90s. The government was merging all the small schools in country Victoria. So we lost our funding one particular year. And then we have another farm, Hare Krishna farm at Murwillumbah, which is near Byron Bay, which has been running for 40 years, that school. So most of our kids moved to that school, up at our other community. And then for about 10 years, this Hare Krishna Valley was very quiet. There wasn't much happening here. And then they asked myself and Mani Griva. Mani was the one who was singing before. He's the big guy from New Zealand. He was just chanting with us. They asked us to move here about 18 years ago, and then we transformed this school into a retreat centre. So now we run spiritual retreats all through the year, and we have open days like this where people come and they can learn about us. And we have a sacred Goshala on the other side. After lunch, we'll take you to see the sacred cows. Goshala means a place where cows are protected. Because in our ancient teachings, you see in the pictures, there's quite often cows with Krishna. Right? God likes cows. Right? He's actually a cow herd boy. Right? He lives with cows all the time. So he has his cows in the spiritual world. And one of the purposes of our place is to have a place where cows are protected. Animals are protected. Because you see in the modern world, what do people do with the animals? Yeah, slaughter them, eat them, right? Like I was speaking to someone the other day and they were talking about their dog. Oh, my dog, and I love my dog and everything is so nice. But the same person eats chicken and fish. What's the difference? Why is society schizophrenic? Right? It's okay to kill a chicken, but we'll protect a dog. Right? It's all right to eat a fish, but we protect a dolphin. It's all right to eat a cow, but we protect an elephant. Or my wife and I, we went to Australia Zoo up at Sunshine Coast a few years ago. And we walked in. No, it's a nice place, Australia Zoo. Steve Irwin opened it, and now his children, they run it. And wherever you go, they tell you, protect the crocodiles, protect the wildlife, protect all this. But then you go into the cafe for lunch, and what's on the menu? Kangaroo burger, chicken burger, fish burger. Doesn't even make sense. So I walked out and I said, what's going on in this place? I didn't actually do that, but I was thinking in my head, what's going on in this place? All day you stand outside, everyone tells us, oh, you have to look after that animal, you have to look after that, they're protected. But all the other animals, you just chop them up and sell them in the shop. Right? So this is the kind of society we have, and this is why society is not peaceful. How can you be peaceful if you are killing all the beings who live on this earth with us? You can't kill them and expect humans to be peaceful. And then we all get upset. Oh, why is there so much chaos? Why is everyone fighting? Why are there wars? Why does everyone kill each other? But then we eat all the animals. It doesn't make sense. That karma will come back to you. Hands up if you believe in karma. Nearly everyone. So, right? So, here at Hare Krishna Valley, we have the Goshala. It is called Ahimsa Dairy. Right? You go there, and you'll meet the cows after lunch. We'll take you over to meet them. And they are protected. Right? They're born here and they will die here. Right? And they live a peaceful life. That's how it is meant to be. Right? And that's why when you come here, does it feel peaceful here? Does it feel peaceful?
Yes.
Okay, good. I mean, it means it's working. Because we look after the animals, then that vibration, that spreads out into the atmosphere. And then everyone feels there is that sense of peace. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you cannot be happy if there's no peace. Right? First you have to have peace in society, then you can have happiness. That's why society is not it's not peaceful, and it's not so happy. People are not happy. These things are simple. So that's what we're teaching here. So that's a brief history, going back millions of years down to 2026. I went very fast. Right? There's a lot of stuff in between as well, but we need several days to go through the whole thing. Does anyone have any questions or any comments about anything I have discussed, or about anything I have not discussed? If you just want to ask something about the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, then we can take some questions if you have anything. Yes, madam.
Why is a creator in any religion or belief system a male? Everyone you talk to, it's always God is a male. Is there that's a question I always ask, why?
Yeah.
Why is it always a male?
Yeah. The question is very good. The question is very good. The simple answer is because he is a male, and that's not a bad thing.
Oh no, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, why is it in every religion or every belief system? It seems to be the male is the dominant, the male is the creator, the male is,
Because he is a male. No, but I'm saying, it's not a bad thing, but it just, the reason it's there in every tradition or every faith or every spiritual is because he is a male. However, in our tradition, you're seeing like in the picture in the center just there, we place as much emphasis on his feminine counterpart as we do on him. And actually when we chant the mantra, which we chanted before, which is our principal mantra, Hare Krishna, we invoke, because she is Hare, or Radha, her name is, we always chant her name before his name. So although we see God as a male, because he is, like I can't question it, I can't go, well, why are you a man? He's just going to say to me, well, A, you can't do anything about it. B, I can't do anything about it, because that's what I am. It's just, that's reality, that's the way it is. However, in our tradition, we place as much emphasis on her as we do him, if not maybe a slightly more emphasis on her, because her name is first. And if you look at masculine and feminine energy traditionally, masculine energy is strong. That's the energy. It's like, that's what it represents. Feminine energy is soft. So we approach her before we approach him. We say, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, right? So even though he is God, but she is his energy and his potency, we give her equal respect, and even we go to her because she's soft. And we need her help to get to him, to serve him. So that's one thing I like about the Hare Krishna movement is the divinity encapsulates the feminine and the masculine aspects of the divine. Whereas in other traditions, as you say, it's just straight masculine. Or we may have Mother Mary, and we may have, there's a feminine element, but maybe the masculine is much stronger. Whereas in ours, it is very equal, and that's the way we try to promote it around the world. Because, and we'll ask a lady.
And you can see even like in this world that the masculine energy, like the seed-giving element to creation, the seed, the seed comes from the masculine. And so the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original form that we are part and parcel of, come from. So in that relationship there is that seed-giving form in a sense. So when you see that in animals, in humans, that masculine energy is that where the original seed force is coming from. And so then the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in that masculine energy, and then everyone else is, as Kesava was saying, like he also has that feminine aspect, which we worship as his expansion, which is she's like his pleasure potency. She comes out with that feminine nature, and so we worship both because both are, you know, that's perfect balance. That's so that's another angle.
Nice. Yeah,
I
but
have something to say as well.
I'll get to you. Yeah, it's better to ask that question to a female. So that was
She
good.
didn't ask me the question. She didn't ask you to have a question, you did.
Yeah, but she, yeah, it was very nice to add all of that. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Understand.
Would you like to?
We always take Radha's name first, Tanishti. So it is believed that when we take her name once, that is how many times on it? 2,100 times we're taking Krishna's name. So she is that powerful. And without her, he's actually like nothing, because they both together are the powers, the supreme power. Not without her, yeah, it's nothing.
It's very important to understand philosophically, because many people get very confused in spirituality. So we're very clear about the state of reality, because we didn't create reality. We're just observers of reality. Like we just appeared in this world. We don't really even know where we came from. We don't even know what we were in our previous life. We may not know what we might be in our next life. So we're very limited. So when these things are taught to us, then we have to make sure we don't get it confused, mixed up, or it doesn't become watered down, or it doesn't become, we don't add our own interpretation to it. Yeah. So the fact that he is the divine masculine, we accept that. But we understand she is his Shakti. You may have heard this word Shakti, very famous in Hindu kind of teachings or yoga teachings. So Shakti means energy or potency. So she is his potency. So she's not God, but without her, we feel there's no way to approach him properly or with blessings, because he's obviously a very special person. Even people in this world who are prominent, they're not easy to get to. What to speak to, he's not easy to get to. So if she can help us, then we are very respectful. So we don't confuse it, because sometimes people say, she and him are one, and no, they're not one. They're different. He is who he is. She is who she is. But we have to understand the interrelationship properly.
So she's like the way to him.
She is the person who will grant us permission. Like, to meet anyone famous or significant in this world, usually you need to go through someone. Usually. Like, it's rare you'll just walk up to the person. You have to arrange a meeting. So she's the person who will permit that, because she's soft. And she says, okay, you want to meet, oh, that's wonderful, you want to meet him? I'll bring you. But we need help. Because, we don't think, I can just approach God. Like, even when I pray, we pray through our gurus. When I do my prayers, then I pray through our guru, like I have to approach gradually. It's not that I can just go straight to Krishna. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's good. Yes, sir.
Can I just add a quick comment?
Please.
So Krishna is the energetic and Radha is the energy. So she's the potency of God, which is female, and that's no small thing.
Yeah. Nice questions. Any other questions?
Well, yeah.
Yes, sir.
In regards to like the Australia Zoo, and you see sort of what I call like an injustice, or like when you see this stuff, you watch the news and you see this stuff in the world, how do you, I suppose, maintain a peaceful mind? Or maybe another example would be like when you going to sleep at night, you've got sort of thoughts in your mind that you sort of don't, you don't want in your mind, and you try to find it hard to fall asleep, that sort of thing. Do you meditate, or?
Yeah, we connect ourselves to Krishna. That chanting we did before, that kirtan, we also do that in meditation every day. So we have beads, and we chant the mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. So we do it as a meditation, right? So that connects us to something higher, gives us that fulfillment, and then our minds become peaceful because we're connected to something higher, and then it's easier to fall asleep, so to speak. Because now we're getting bombarded with incredible amounts of information on a daily basis. You know, I heard the other day something like 77,000 impressions daily or something. You know, like just all the different things that we're in this modern world. You know, as soon as you pick up your phone, you're in touch with the universe practically. Like I can watch something live right now in Belgium. Like how do you do that? It's mystical. I can watch something, you know, what's taking place, and I'm just being bombarded with these things, and it's too much for people, you know, and that's why we feel like this. So you have to replace it with better things. Just like when I go to India once a year, I go to India for a month to have a break from society, to go and just focus on my spirituality. I don't take my phone. I just give it to one of my friends. I say, just send me messages if there's anything important. And then I just go, right? Because otherwise we're overwhelmed with things which are too much for the human psyche to take on a daily basis. You know, what we perceive on the news and on the internet on a daily basis is what people would normally perceive in like 1 year or something. We get every day. You know, so it's so much difficulty and so many of the problems in the world. We're not meant to assimilate that much. So that's why we will become disturbed. So you have to replace it with something higher, something better. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
It might be a dumb question, but just regarding the chant, we have Hare, you said it's Radha, Krishna is Krishnaji, but we have Ram as well. So why Ram? Like, what's the interrelation in this chant?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a little technical, so I'll give you a technical answer. So not everyone may understand it because this goes back into our tradition, our philosophy, and our theology. But
What's the question?
the question is, what is the significance of the word Rama? So Hare represents Radha, or the feminine. Krishna represents Krishna, who is the masculine. The word Krishna literally means one who is all attractive. So what makes someone attractive? What makes a person attracted to another person?
Oh, we're all different, aren't we? So whatever attracts you might not attract me.
True. But then there are certain key elements which make us attracted to others. Right? 6 things. Aishwaryasya, samagrasya, viryasya, yashashaha, shriyaha, jnana vairagyyaschaiva, shanambhaga atingana. These 6 things make people attractive to another. First one is called Aishwarya. What does Aishwarya mean? Wealth. Wealth. Aishwarya. Wealth. Yeah. If someone's wealthy, do they become attractive? If Bill Gates walked in here right now, would you look at me or him?
I don't find money attractive.
You wouldn't actually.
Why wouldn't I?
Everyone would look, because, you know, if someone's out, there's Bill Gates.
Now when everyone's sitting down, of course you'd look at him. But if
Yeah,
he
that's
was
right.
sitting in this room, I would look at him like I would look at all these people and just, he's a person.
But everyone would look because there's something there, there's like a potency.
Yeah.
When someone has, no, it's there naturally. If someone else walks, like so many people in this room now, but we're not kind of focused on one person. But if a very wealthy person was sitting amongst us, our consciousness would be on that person.
If we knew what they looked like is what you mean. If we didn't know
Yeah, of course. Over someone very famous, like, you know, anyone who's very wealthy. It makes people attractive, right? So, someone who's wealthy, who owns things, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Virya means strong, right? Just like the Olympics is on now. Hands up if you're watching the Olympics. Yeah, why? Because we like to see people who are strong and they can do things that we can't do. Like I can't jump off the You see when they jump off the ramp on the, like, you know, if they took a video of me doing it, no one's going to watch it.
Well, it might, because in funny home videos.
It'd be very funny, yeah. Because, you know, I'd be like, I wish I didn't do that. Like that, right? So, if someone is very strong, they're attractive. Virya, yasha means fame. Fame. If someone's famous, everyone's interested. I mean, you look at, all everyone does every day is just look at famous people. Oh, what's Brad Pitt doing? Oh, what's Angelina Jolie doing? Oh, what's, you know, that's all people do all day, right? So if someone's famous, they become attractive, right? Yasha, Shriya means beauty. If someone's beautiful, everyone's attracted. Like in India, you have Aishwarya Rai, right? Everyone knows her. She's beautiful, right? So everyone's attracted to beauty, right? Jnana means knowledge. If someone's very learned, we become attracted to that person, like Einstein or someone. And Vairagya means detachment, renunciation, like the Dalai Lama, right? He's not attached to things in this world, so people are attracted to that. So if you have those 6 qualities, strength, beauty, renunciation, fame, knowledge, and detachment, those 6, if you have them all, unlimitedly, right, you would be the most attractive person. And someone who has all of those things unlimitedly is called Krishna. That's why he's got the name Krishna, because he's the wealthiest. What does he own? What does Krishna own? Everything.
Every universe.
Everything. All of this belongs to him. Nothing belongs to us. We can say, oh, you know, this iPhone, it belongs to me. But when I'm dead, I can't do anything about it. So it doesn't actually belong to me, right? But he owns everything, right? So someone who owns everything, that is Krishna. Someone who's the most beautiful, who's the wisest, who's the most detached from everything. He has all of these qualities unlimitedly. So that's what Hare means, Radha, Krishna means Krishna. And Rama, what does the word Rama mean? What does the word mean?
Radha, Madhav. Radha and Madhav.
No, sorry, Rama.
Rama.
What does the word mean?
I've heard somewhere like Rama is Krishna also because it's a Radha. And
Yeah, but what does the word mean? Rama.
Peaceful.
Rama means
Peaceful.
one who gives pleasure to everyone. One who makes everyone happy. Right? Do you know anyone who makes everyone happy?
Ice cream seller.
What's that?
Ice cream seller.
Okay, so the ice cream seller, he makes everyone happy. All right, except for people who don't like ice cream. But so the point is that if someone is called Rama, it means they can give pleasure to everyone. So that's only God can do that. Right? Only Krishna can do that. Only God. Right? He can make everyone happy. So he's the reservoir of all pleasure. So that's why that name is there. So when we say Rama, it can mean Krishna, or now we'll get a little bit deeper, it can mean Ramachandra, because he also has that name, or it can mean Balaram, who is Krishna's brother. So it can mean all 3, so it's whatever you meditate on at that time. But technically it means, the mantra means the supreme person, like that. So we're chanting like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Good question. Any other questions? We have some time, so if you'd like to ask.
You said when in your sort of earlier years when you were questioning things, is that the time you were questioning about reincarnation? Just curious to know, not now, obviously you learned a lot now, but at that point when you were thinking about reincarnation, what sort of made you believe in reincarnation?
To me, it's just obvious. It's just obvious. You know, I mean, it's verifiable. We can verify it. It's scientific. Like if you just look it up on Google. Look up, hands up if you've heard of Anne Frank. Okay, so many of you know Anne Frank. So she's a famous, she wrote a diary. She was there in World War II. She lived in Amsterdam, and the Nazis had taken over the city, and she was trapped in an attic for a number of years, and she wrote a diary, and this diary is read all over the world. It's called Anne Frank's Diary, very famous. Maybe some people from India have not heard of it, but in the Western world it's very famous. So, she passed away back a number of years ago, and she's living now. She's taken birth. She is an author in Sweden. Now, when she was a child, her parents took her to Amsterdam to the Anne Frank Museum. So she walks in, this little girl walks in and looks around, and she says, "Where are the paintings?" And then her parents said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Oh no, there used to be paintings here on the wall." And they spoke to the curator who's running the museum. He said, "Oh, we've taken them down to clean them, but normally they're there." And she went upstairs, she knew everything. And she has memories of that time. She's alive now. But if you just Google it, just Google Anne Frank reincarnation, it will come up and you'll see. And that's just one example. So it's verifiable. Some people do remember these things. So reincarnation is not a belief. It's a fact of life, right? It's like gravity is a fact of life, right? That's a fact. Now you say, "I don't believe in gravity." Cool. Go and jump off, go down to Torquay and look over the beach and jump off the cliff. Say, "I don't believe in gravity." It doesn't matter. It's a law. It's part of the creation. It's something that controls us. So in the same way, reincarnation is just part of nature. It's just part of the world. It's part of life. So it's not a matter of whether we believe it or don't believe it. It is the way it is. So to me, it was a very obvious thing. And then as I got older, and I read about it more in the Eastern philosophy, because in all the Eastern teachings, in Buddhism, Baha'i, Hinduism, all the Eastern teachings, it's there. To me, it just makes perfect sense. And it's the only way to describe why the world is like it is. Why are we all different? Right? Why do some of us are wealthy, some of us are poor? Some of us are intelligent, some of us are not so gifted. Some people are very beautiful, some people are disabled. Why is there all these fluctuations? Because in our previous life, because of our previous karma, then we're born into this life with certain karma already there from previously. So that's why it explains why there is difference in the world. So it's up to you. People say, "I don't believe it." That's okay. You don't have to.
I do believe it.
I know you do.
A lot.
I know you
Just
do.
curious what was your thinking
Yeah.
behind it?
I know you believe it, but some people, I've met people who say, "I don't believe in reincarnation." That's cool. That's good. You can say that, but it doesn't change anything. But what you learn here at Hare Krishna Valley is that we don't want to reincarnate. The goal is not reincarnation. The goal is to transcend this world, to go and live with Krishna once again in the other world. So we don't want to stay here. We want to, by our chanting process, by our devotional process, we want to transcend this world, go back to where we belong. Because you'll never be fully happy in this world. Hands up if you think you can be completely happy in this world. Okay, hands up if you are completely happy in this world. One man. That's good. It's because you're 25, that's all. And you're from Germany and you're traveling and it's all. And you're a volunteer at Hare Krishna Valley. And your life's awesome.
He's living the life.
Yeah, it is. So this guy's perfectly happy. But if you come back in 25 years, he'll have some stories to tell. I remember when I was 27, I was speaking to one of my gurus, and he said a similar thing as I just said then. And I just, I was bright-faced like you are, young, and I just, and then he said, "Oh, it hasn't happened to you yet." So you'll see 25 years, he'll be sitting here and he'll be giving the talk, he'll say, actually, like that. That's all. It's just time. That's all. Yeah, if you've got the 25 and you're feeling really good, that's really good. That's good. You're doing very well. You know, and that's why with children, you know, just make them happy and just bring them up happy in the world, because they don't want to know the reality. If you tell them the reality, it's going to make them dysfunctional. Just keep them happy. You know, they're going to work it all out later on. Right? So just let them get to that point. It happened to all of us. Yeah, I got to my... Oh, actually, I didn't. By the time I was 19 and I became a monk, I'd been through enough. I'd already worked it out. This place is not as it should be. So we need answers. We need a positive alternative. If this world is all there is, then God help us. Because it's not perfect. It can be very good, though. It can be very good, but you have to have a spirituality within yourself. We were talking about that before. If you don't have something deeply spiritual within yourself, this world will grind you. If you have something very deeply spiritual, even in this world, you'll be quite happy. But there is a better place also. Is that okay? So that's why I believe in reincarnation. That's the long answer. Any other questions? We have a little bit more time, so if you have any questions, you can ask.
How can we break the reincarnation chakra? How can we break that?
You have to become Krishna conscious. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam, whatever you think of at the time of death, that's where you will go.
Whatever we think.
Yeah, whatever you're thinking. So what will you think of when you're dying? Right? Well, you probably do have an idea. It's whatever you're most attached to.
My son.
Yeah, so that's what you'll probably think of. Yeah. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, think of me. Because then if you die, you can come to me.
It just only depends on the time you're dying, what you think, or it's also your karmas.
No, it depends on how you live your life, that's all.
Throughout the life,
Yeah. What are you doing with your life? You know, if you're watching Bollywood every day.
Yeah. Running after money.
Running after money.
I want this, I want that.
I want this, I want that. Right? I run out the money and I watch Bollywood. What do you think you'll think of at the end of your life? Right. You know, 2009 I was in New Zealand. I was driving down the road and with my previous wife, I was riding down the road and it was June 21st, the shortest day of the year, New Zealand. New Zealand's very cold, winter, very cold. We had a camper van, we're on a holiday, driving down the road, about 6 o'clock at night, near Fox Glacier in New Zealand. And then we hit black ice. So black ice means the road is ice, you can't see it. So we're going on the road and then suddenly the camper van just starts going like this, no control. It's like you're on roller skates, ice skates. Right? Put on the brake, does nothing. I don't remember it because we crashed. We had a car accident and I got a hit on the head, so I don't remember the accident. But my previous wife, I woke up in hospital. I just woke up and I'm like, I don't remember going to bed here, you know. And then she walked in and I said, what happened? She said, we were in a car accident. And then I said to her, what was I doing when we crashed? She said, you were saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Right? Because I practice every day remembering Krishna. So when the time comes, I hope next time it comes, I survive that time, near-death experience, that I think of Krishna. Then you can go to something much higher. But if you're thinking of Bollywood and everything you can getting this and that, and then you'll be born again in this world. It's called reincarnation. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Your destiny is in your control. It's not someone else's control. Is it okay? TK? Okay. Any other questions?
always say Radha Krishna, but Krishna's actual wife was Rukmini. So, like, why do we say Radha? Like, that's my question.
You're asking very deep questions. It's okay. It's very deep. Because who is he more attached to, Radha or Rukmini?
I think Rukmini.
Who is he more attached to? Yeah. So he was married to Rukmini later in his pastime, but he was always thinking of. These are very deep things. I can explain it to you, but it's very deep. But yeah, he's more attached to. I could tell you stories, but this is like some of these people here for the first time, and they're already thinking, "Wow, there's a lot of stuff these guys said today." So where you're going to, it's like a whole nother level. But yeah, that's the answer. He's more attached to it. Any other questions?
Just one.
That's
Sorry.
good. That's good.
In the Hare Krishna movement, what's your belief system to why young children die? Or why young people or babies
Pass away.
pass away?
Yeah. Everything is karma.
So you're saying in a previous life there was something that they did. Does that mean they're either going to go to a higher plane, or they're like, you know, like a 3-month-old baby or a 3-year-old child gets cancer? Like,
They're born again.
so they're born again.
Yeah, of course. We're all born again. Unless you break the cycle, you're born again. Like I said, do you believe in reincarnation? You put up your hand. So you believe there was a previous life.
Yeah.
So that means there's a future life also. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, when you change body, it is just like changing, like we get up every day, put on different clothes, right? You're the same person. So your soul is going into a different body, but you're the same. The soul is the same. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it just means sometimes in some lives we have good karma because we did good things previously, and sometimes we have bad karma. Right? So it will come periodically. Sometimes you get bad karma, sometimes you get good. In this life you always get bad and good. It's never all bad, it's never all good. So that's what you're getting. So some lifetimes you might die young. Like I lost a brother when he was 9 years old. I was 15, he was 9. One of my brothers passed. That's one of the reasons I became a monk when I was 19, because I was 15 and one of my brothers was gone like that in an accident. So, you know, I've seen these things in this world. So then it was very interesting. When he passed, the first thing I thought was, there was actually a voice came into my head, said, nothing happens by chance. Right? Nothing happens by chance. So it was like, and I was only 15 at the time, but my mother still says to this day, you got us through that. You know, it was like something awoken within me. It was like my previous life being a monk or something. Because it was just like something awoken straight away, and I was very upset and very, I was lamenting the loss of my brother, but at the same time there was like a depth of understanding that, you know, this life is temporary. And nothing happens by chance. So, you know, I had that, and that kind of, my mum said that helped get the family through it. You know, and then later on I became a monk, and then that's why I try to help people get through life. You know, have a higher perspective of what things are about. So everything is karma. You know, if something good happens to us, we don't mind. But when something bad happens, we all say, why did that happen? No, it's karma, it's the same thing. You don't mind the good karma, why do you complain about the bad karma?
Well, because the good karma is good, the bad karma is not.
Exactly. But who caused it? You did. You did. Everything that happens to us, we caused it. That's when you realise that and understand that, you actually become peaceful. You know, if something negative happens to me, that's because something I did previously, then you become peaceful. I am the cause of this. We
accept that seeing our child go through pain, it's like, you must have done something bad.
No, we would never say ha ha,
Yeah.
but we would understand it philosophically. Yes, that's why it's happening. That's why, because otherwise how do you explain it? Because it happens. Like my brother, I don't want to see it either, but I can explain why it happens. I don't want to see it happen, but I can explain why it happens. Otherwise, you don't have any explanation of why these things happen. Yeah, we don't like seeing. I didn't like having my brother die when he was 9, but I can understand it was because of his karma previously. Otherwise, there's no explanation. Why it can't just all be happening randomly. People have to think about these things. Shirley MacLaine writes about it. Have you read her book, Out on a Limb? Yeah, she writes about it. Back in the 80s, she wrote a book about it. So, you know, many people discuss these things. Like that. If you don't learn these things, you will never be peaceful. Because you have to understand why these things are happening in this world. No one wants it to happen, but it happens. Okay. Are you hungry? You want some lunch? Okay, one lady's hungry. So the rest of you, it was nice seeing you. And if anyone's hungry, you can go to the next one. So thank you for giving a donation for today. Everyone brought tickets. If you didn't buy a ticket, just come and see me, and then we can organise. So when you're ready, just go into the next room. We'll have lunch. And then after lunch, we'll go across to the Sacred Cows, and you can visit the Sacred Cows on the other side of the farm. Thank you all for coming.
Hare Krishna.
Please come again. Hare Krishna.